Tlendaba is an admitted attorney based in Johannesburg with cross-jurisdictional experience across South Africa and the United States. She's the founder of The Verdict on AI, a publication focused on how artificial intelligence is reshaping legal practice, professional risk, and everyday life in South Africa. Her work covers AI ethics, professional conduct obligations, regulatory developments, and the practical implications of AI adoption across industries. Buoyantly is known for translating complex AI and legal developments into clear, actionable insights grounded in South African law. The Verdict on AI is published on Substack at verdictonai.substack.com. Enjoy this conversation with me.
Yes, so happy you agreed to do this. You know, I enjoy your talks like online. I really enjoy how you explain
Really?
things. Yes, because it's
I
short,
appreciate that.
but it's to the point. You know, you
Yeah.
explain very well. So when I saw one of your videos, I thought, oh my word. I mean, my podcast is still very young, but then I thought, you know what? I really want to talk to you. And yeah, how did you get to this point? Because you explain things so well.
I'm glad you think so. That was the whole purpose when I started, because before I went into doing content, before I started the page,
Yeah.
because also I think you would have noticed my page is also still very, very young.
Yes,
Before I started
yes.
doing the actual videos and the content on social media, and I actually just also started my TikTok page, I started writing about it first. So that's where the verdict on AI, that's where it started. I started it beginning of this year. So I wrote about it more, levels on the research that I've been doing. And then the traction was not really there. My articles were not really getting much, attention. And I felt like it wasn't reaching the people that I needed it to reach.
Yes,
Then I
yes,
decided
yes.
the only way we can help, spread the word to the masses, everyone is on social media.
Yeah.
So maybe let me just turn my articles into short form content, deliver it, and then maybe try to get the audience from there. And so far that has worked really well. My audience is growing. I'm actually reaching the right people such as yourself.
Oh my word. What does your name mean, Mpho Entle?
Mpho Entle, it's a beautiful
Mpho
gift.
Entle.
Yes,
beautiful
it's one
gift.
name meaning beautiful gift.
It's beautiful. So I was thinking, Entle, okay, beautiful, but Mpho is a gift.
Yes, and then the Entle is the
Entle,
beautiful
it's a
part.
beautiful,
Yes,
beautiful
and
part.
people tend to think, oh, it's a mixture of Zulu and Tswana. It's actually just really a Tswana name, because even the Entle, it's written ENTLE and not with the H. Like Ntho Entle. Yes.
Yeah. It's a beautiful
I know,
name.
it's very unique. Thank you. I love it.
It's a beautiful name. It's really unique. It's really unique. So what drew you in? What drew you in? What made you interested in law and AI? Like, where did this all start? The interest in all of this field. What's the background?
So how I got into, funny story. I always wanted to be a dancer.
You lie.
And when I finished, I'm an arts person. I am a dancer at heart. So even when I finished high school, I just wanted, my dream was to become a big, world-renowned choreographer, and I get to choreograph shows and movies and, award shows and stuff.
Yeah.
But then, being raised by a boomer, my dad was not seeing the vision. My dad was like, that is not a real career. We're not doing that. You need, and if you want to go into dancing, at least have a backup, have a backup. Something real. So if your dancing doesn't work out, you go,
and they would ask, who do you know who's dancing that has an income? Who do you know?
Exactly. And, there were not a lot of names at the time. I'd be like, there's Loshia Cooper.
Yeah.
There's Somizi. There's a lot of them. Like, okay, and who? Only two people. Only two people.
Who else? Who else in the community? Yeah. Who else in the community?
So I couldn't really support my case at the time, and social media was not a thing.
Yeah.
So then I decided we're going to make a deal. Fine, I'll go into law. And funny enough, I feel like all the activities I participated in during high school trained me for law, because one of my strongest subjects was English. I was part of the debate team. So I was always doing research, and I was always doing oral competitions for the school.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was actually polishing me up to get into this. But then I
Yes.
decided, you know what? It's fine. I'll take law. I'll shut you up, Dad. I'll take the law.
Yeah.
And then when I'm done, I'm hitting the stage. I took the law. And I finished law, and law just consumed my life. After that, there was
Oh
no
my
time to go back to the
word.
stage.
Yes,
Law
yes,
was
because you're
what was
busy.
happening. Yes. So
You're
2016, I moved to the US. That's when my dad and the rest of my family moved there. I spent about 8
yeah.
years and a half in the US. So when AI broke out and AI started being popular, I was in the US in the legal field in the US. So I was
Wow.
there when it was first being adopted by attorneys in the US before it even became a huge thing.
I think, yeah.
I saw the trajectory very early, and it was actually something that I mean, when I started using AI, I was using it mostly for social media. So I'm a content creator, so I was using it for caption writing and
Yeah.
hashtags, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I literally thought, and it's the same thing that everyone thinks right now. They think your ChatGPT and your Claude is a different, like a smarter version of Google. And
Yes.
that is
Yes.
such a wrong and incorrect notion. And it is exactly what gets people into trouble with AI and over reliance. ChatGPT and Google are two completely different things, and they should not be used like they are the same thing. So when it first broke out, I'm thinking, oh, if this thing is helping me write captions, maybe I can see what it can do for me in my work. I was at a law firm at the time, in Pennsylvania, and, you know, started doing some research, some case law. We have this case, ChatGPT. I have this case. These are the facts. What can you tell me? It gave me a whole spiel. It even gave me supporting case law. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, this is amazing. This thing just did my work for me. All of like, what, 5-10 minutes? Great. And I wish I could remember the particular details of the case, or the metric that I was researching at the time. But I remember it gave me like 3 to 5 different cases supporting the research that I was doing. And some of these cases, I'm like, oh my God, wow, the judge really said that. It said something so precise to what I was researching. And I'm like, oh, I have to read up on this case. This case is amazing. This is all the case that I need to support this. Then I go into Google. I type the case. Okay, the sociable chemist versus Mpho. 2019. And Google is like, no. What? I typed the case. Google, your search did not, you know, nothing exists. It gave me something like similar name cases. And I'm thinking, what? I went to Jutia. So, it's another website where we verify cases. This is, US. I went to Jutia and I search, I type in the case in there and nothing comes up. It says your case doesn't exist. I went to the next case, doesn't exist. I'm like, wait, what? I went to the next case, doesn't exist. Not a single case existed. Not a single case existed for my. And then for that specific matter, I went back to old school research. Then I was like, okay, I'm going to deal with this later, but it's something that stayed with me. So then I needed to understand how or why it was giving me cases that didn't exist.
Yes.
That's when then I started pivoting, because then my thinking was, I'm not going to understand why it's giving me fake stuff if I don't understand how it actually works. I need to understand why it was giving me fake stuff in the first place.
Yes.
Then I started taking those. University started releasing those free, you know, those free courses about AI, elements of AI, this and that and whatnot. And then that's when I took a bunch of them. I have a bunch of random AI certificates chilling in my emails. There's elements of AI that was just recently released by Anthropic. Then there was Coursera or Coursera. There's a bunch of free AI courses that were released and that constantly being released. So every short course that would come out, get on it, trying to understand. Then obviously, naturally, I found more studies or research on how AI works, and then I'm thinking, this is actually very interesting. We don't know what we're dealing with.
Exactly.
We don't know what we're dealing with. So the more information I found on it, it's like, oh my goodness, people don't know this. And if I'm the one that, if it happened to me by myself, it's definitely happening to
many people,
and others, you know, and other attorneys out there. Some of them don't even have the luxury of the time to do the research that I was able to do. So they're just moving blindly to the AI space. And Then 2024,
Wow.
I moved back to South Africa. And one of the reasons was the fact that I felt my skills and my knowledge were probably going to be more valuable in South Africa than it was in the US. So then I moved back. Now I'm back in South Africa. I'm in the legal space. Okay, how
Yes.
far is South Africa with AI?
Hey.
We are years behind. We are years behind. And that's how the verdict on AI was born.
When
People need to know this.
you have a lot to do.
And yes, people need to know what we're dealing with. They don't know. Even
Yes.
I still don't have like the full understanding and comprehension of what
Yes.
I just know that the scale is massive. And if
Oh my
this goes
gosh.
unchecked, it
It's
could
going
very well be
to
catastrophic.
yes. So tell me, for somebody who's going to listen to this now who doesn't know what AI is, in basic terms, what is AI?
So AI is basically a very smart machine that can do things that only humans used to be able to do at the time. So it's a tool. I say AI is a pattern recognition tool.
Okay.
It recognizes patterns and it gives you output based on patterns that it has been trained on. It doesn't go, so I say it's different from Google because when you go into Google sources its information from specific databases. It has, I guess, access to all these websites.
Yeah.
So it can go into the primary source and, get you the actual thing that you're looking for. ChatGPT doesn't do that. ChatGPT doesn't go to a website like a Safli or a Jutia and pulls a case for you. ChatGPT goes into what already has been stored in it. It's been trained on a lot of words. It's been trained on a lot of literature. It's read a lot of books on law. It's read a lot of books on medicine, psychology. So it is outdated. Also, that's another thing. It can give you an output telling you about an act that was released in 1883 in South Africa. But because of the information or the data that it's been trained on, it constantly needs to be updated. So if the data has not been updated, if you today you go there and you ask it about a case that happened last week, if it hasn't been trained on that data, it's going to give you something that it thinks you're looking for. So it goes back to what has already been pre-trained into the thing. So for when it actually sources information from the internet, so you have to direct it to the specific place that you wanted to get the information from. That's one. Number two, it has to have access to that specific website or database. And it does not have access to every database and every website out there, not the way Google does. So that's basically what AI is. It's a pattern recognition. It's a pattern recognizing machine.
So that's why it rambles. Sometimes you find out that it says something and then it repeats itself in a different form.
Yes, because it thinks which is another reason why prompt engineering is so important. You need to know how to prompt it. The keywords are extremely important because the more information you give it, the more output, the more accurate the output it'll give you. So what is this? Prompt engineering is a real thing. Like it's a real skill that people that are using AI actually do need to develop. So if you're gonna put an input on it, the prompt rather, it's gonna recognize keywords. So if you're gonna say judgment, it's gonna take the main keywords and then looking at those keywords, it's gonna think, I know what this person is looking for. I read a book that has all these keywords. So I think this is what they're looking for. And then it's gonna give you everything it has on what it thinks you're looking for, based on the words that you fed it. So it's going to say, usually from what I've been trained on, the word, I am a lawyer. Those words are usually followed by everything that has to do with court cases, citations, judgment. That's everything that has to do with law. And then it'll feed you all that information that it thinks you're looking at. So prompt engineering is definitely one of the skills that people need to learn and make sure that they develop. If you're going to go fully into AI, prompt engineering.
So prompt engineering is, as you say, so prompt engineering is the fact that you need to ask it exactly what you mean. Exactly. So you mean that you put exactly, don't ramble. Don't give it 3 sentences. Be specific.
No, be specific. You can ramble in your prompt.
Okay.
Make sure you give it everything you need. And then whatever output it gives you, take it, read through it, and go verify it from the primary sources. Don't just take it and walk away. AI can never be accurate. It does not have the ability to be accurate.
True, I get
Okay,
you.
let
I
me put it
get
like
you.
this. It does not know when it is wrong or when it is right. And it can never know when it is wrong or right, which is why the answers it gives you with the same confidence. It gives you the wrong answers with the same confidence it will give you the correct answers.
Yes.
And you will never know the
Yes.
difference unless you verify. Yes. So I always say to
Yes.
the other attorneys, you need to treat it like a very confident junior. You know you're not going to take junior's work without checking it and verifying it to court. So if your junior gives you research, you as your senior, you're going to look through it first to make sure that everything is okay and everything makes sense. You need to do the same thing with an AI output. Treat it like you're very inexperienced but very confident junior.
Junior. Oh, that's so interesting. Listen, I'm so intrigued. You studied here and then you moved to Pennsylvania and you work for a law firm there. How are our law degrees different in the US and here? And also in your working experience, what do you think is the difference just in general for somebody who's thinking that, you know what, I want to leave one day and work abroad? How are the degrees different? And you working there and now bring back home? Oh, did you work here before leaving?
Yes,
did you work?
I did.
All right.
I did for
so
a few years,
the work environment, because we often think that if I have to go and work in the US or Europe, wherever, maybe there's something I need to study to prepare me to be ready for that space. What was your experience?
As a lawyer, I was going to say law student because I'm not a law student anymore, but as a lawyer, for vets particularly, with my experience, you know how vets is internationally recognized.
Yes.
I found out the hard way that is not, the international recognition has bounds. What do I mean by that? So when I got to the US, eventually I learned that I was unemployable because of my foreign qualifications. So with law specifically, I understand because law differs in each country.
Yeah.
It's not the same. So, and some countries are based on common law and others are not. South Africa is based on common law and the US. So those are like two different, systems already when the US is not. So, I think my degree would have worked better or would have been recognized as a stronger qualification if I went to other common law countries.
What is common law?
The foundations of law.
What is common law?
The principle of common law, it's the law that is developed based on historic precedents. So we say it's common law because we source it from other countries that have already, say, maybe gone through the same experience. So if we are faced with a new case or a new matter that we've never had to deal with before, we will look at what has previously been spoken about, what has previously been decided on this specific question. And because it is law that is generally sourced from other existing laws or acts or principles, doctrines or whatever, we say it's common law because it is used in a common setting. It is used by more than just one specific country.
I see.
Whereas the other countries only rely on the law that is there, that exists, and that's the only thing they will look at. So those are the countries that do not fall under common law foundations.
Okay, so is it the reason why we have a judge and then the US has a jury system?
They have a jury system, yes, because that's their own law. That's their own. Those are their own laws and policies and whereas countries such as South Africa and I believe Australia, do not quote me on this one, but I believe Australia also falls under the common law doctrine. Yes, so we borrow a lot of their laws, and because they are a country that's generally ahead of South Africa, we do look to those type of countries to see how we can navigate novel issues that we are, facing, because there's always a country that has dealt with a similar problem before, especially in the
Yes.
So
Yes.
the US particularly is not a common law country, and I
Yeah.
was trained on common law foundations. So I think
Yeah.
that's one of the things. So when I got there, I realized that I was unemployable, and the only way I could be employable and compete with the others in the same field as me, I had to have some sort of American or a US qualification. So whether
Wow.
that means going back to start from the beginning after completing 4 years of law school and 2 years of articleship, I'm thinking, I don't want to do this again. I really don't want to do this.
Yes.
There's
After
people
6
that have
years.
moved. There's people that have moved to the US and decided they're going to start this from jump. And I just felt I did not have I don't want to say the time, but I just did not have the willingness to do that. I'm really not that passionate about law. I'm not. So I'm not about to sit through another 4 years of doing this in a different country. So then my options were to maybe take a master's in corporate law because that's my area of interest. And so while I was exploring that, how I even landed a job at the law firm that I did when I was in Philly, it was a personal connection. It was through a running club. I went to a running club for the first time. I met the people there. There was this guy. I guess he just took an interest in me. He's like, hey, I hear from South Africa. You're doing law. Tell me more about that. And I explained to him my situation. And it's like, you actually, I run a law firm and I've just decided that I need help. You may just be the best person and I can train you while we do this. And that's how I got my job at the law firm that I worked at. It was just purely through a personal connection.
Word.
My qualifications had nothing to do with it. And if I had to rely only on that, I was going to have a very hard time breaking into the industry.
Yeah. But your training here, did it prepare you at least to some extent to your survival at the law firm?
It did. Because I did also do my articles of clerkship. So I know how fast-paced law firms are. I'm familiar with the courts. I mean, the motions and the procedures are different. Some of the motions that we file are not the same, but at the very core of it, everything is pretty much the same. I'm very familiar with having to file court documents, preparing for litigation cases, court appearances, and all those things. Fundamentals are the same. Just that the little intricate details in between those ones are the ones that differ.
My word. I'm really so impressed by what you achieved, eh? Because,
Thank you.
we often think, I'm really impressed because you were able to put yourself there. I mean, you go running with strangers, first of all, in a new space. You coming from here, you get to Philly, you start running with people, you talking, that kind of social integration that actually got to where you are, to get you the experience that you needed. So
it opens up your mind. You're moving to a foreign place. It forces you out of your comfort zone, and you probably have to put yourself out there.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I did.
Oh,
and it
my
helped.
word.
In South Africa they say, "But that." I'm like, yes, Papa Wami. I guess it's working for a reason because
it worked.
Look at me.
It worked.
I'm
Look
on a
at
podcast.
you. Oh my word, I'm so happy. I'm really impressed. It's really because most people will just sit in their cocoon and sort of feel sorry for themselves. Oh, I'm in this place. What am I going to do now in this new place, So tell me, when you get home, what kind of, let's say, ethical risks do you think South Africans are, let's say that South Africans should be aware of, legal, ethical risk when it comes to AI? Because I know you deal with AI a lot. What should we be aware of legally and ethically?
Okay, I would say the top 3 that comes to my mind right now would be accuracy, over-reliance on AI. It's definitely something that needs to be considered. I said 3, and I'm thinking of 4. Accountability. So with over-reliance, people are not realizing, and it is unfortunate because this is something that will only be realized when it is too late. AI de-skills people because they over-rely on it so much. They rely on it to not just to help with the research or the drafting or the summarizing. They let it do the work for them. And that will result into, a brain is like a muscle. If you don't use it, you lose it. If you don't use your critical thinking skills, you're going to lose them. If you don't use your research skills, you're going to lose them. You will forget how these things work. That's just how a brain works. So if you end up being the person that goes to AI for everything before you even exercise your own judgment and your own thinking, you're as good as done. You will end up being an AI zombie. And that's what I call, it's going to be like an apocalyptic AI zombie. The world will just be filled with people that cannot act without AI first. So that's like the biggest risk right now. Now, something also, and I don't know if you've noticed, I haven't really researched much on it, but you'll start seeing my posts. It has just been brought to my attention actually by one of people that commented on one of my posts. You know how I'm always legally focused on the legal sector and how AI is affecting legal and South Africa and South African law. One of the commenters said to me, oh my gosh, the same thing is happening in education. Teachers are using AI to write assessment for kids, and AI will do what AI always does. It will hallucinate. AI doesn't know the pace at which a teacher is teaching their kids, the learning styles. It will hallucinate assessment. It will hallucinate questions to ask kids, and then kids are expected to take these assessments when they're being asked or tested on things they haven't even learned before. Because teachers over-relied on AI. So I'm saying this because to the point of de-skilling and AI over-reliance and critical thinking being at risk, the focus, at least for me particularly, the focus has mainly been what is AI doing to lawyers and what is AI doing in the professional sector? When the actual question should be, if that is the worry, if our current worry is AI de-skilling people that are already skilled and people that are already in their different fields, then the question moves to what is AI doing to the kids that have not even had the chance to develop those skills? So at that point, AI is not de-skilling because there's nothing to de-skill. It will just practically block development. If it's taking away critical thinking skills on adults and university-going students, what do you think it's doing to a primary school kid? That hasn't even developed critical thinking skills?
Because they use it for assignments. They use it to, primary school. I remember the other day, one of my kids was also doing an assignment and I saw, him going. I said, you haven't even tried. Let's try and then go and confirm.
Which is the same thing. I had this AI when I started doing research on AI in schools. I had a conversation with my son because I have a 14-year-old and he's in grade 8. I had a conversation with him and I asked him, so how do you use AI? And just so you know, this is a safe place. I need you to be completely open and honest with me. You're not going to get in trouble. Just tell me exactly how you use it. And he said, homework, he'll take the homework question, he'll put it in there. ChatGPT gives him everything. He takes it back. He doesn't even do the research anymore. At best, he will read through it. And of course, it's going to make sense because it is built to make sense. But when it's wrong or right, that's a story for another day.
Because it was a grade 8. Even my son also is in grade 8 like yours. It was an assignment for grade 8. I think, it's an atom. Let's now go and look at a book. Let's check the periodic table and choose one element and let's see what we can do. Then let's go and see if we are correct or not, But I was just looking at this guy. He's there going on,
Exactly.
It scares me.
Everything for them. It's very scary. And I said to him, from here onwards, when you navigate AI, whatever work you get from school, I need you to try and do that homework to the best of your ability first.
Yes.
Use Google if you must. Just don't use AI. AI exists for a second. Go to Google, use whatever Google gives you, use whatever you remember that you learned in class and put it there. And then you can take that and put it into AI. And then AI can poke holes in your answer and ask it to enhance or maybe make a stronger argument. But it will add on to what you already gave it as opposed to it just creating the whole thing for you. In the very beginning. Think first. And then let AI improve your thinking. but
Yes,
don't let it
yes,
do the
yes.
same thing for you.
Oh
And
my
that's what I
gosh.
told him. And this is the same message that needs to go out there. So now I've started focusing on schools.
Yes.
This is actually a very new pivot for me. I've started focusing on schools.
Tell me more about that. Tell me more about that.
So with this one, it's actually also something that is still being developed. I want the word to get out there, not only to the privileged schools, but it needs to be out there as much in the underprivileged schools, and the schools in the townships and that don't really have all the technology and stuff, whether they use it or not. I still want the knowledge to get out there, because the same kids that may not have the technology in schools, they do still have smartphones. They do still have
Yes.
access to AI, and they still use AI for their schoolwork.
Yeah.
So now the focus, my number one thing, and this might sound slightly controversial, but having read where the countries that are ahead of us are, particularly for Norway, for one, I just
Yes.
recently read an article and I reposted it on my page. Norway has banned AI for kids under the age of 18.
Saw that. I saw it on your page. I saw it on your
Yes.
page.
They have banned AI for kids under the age. So I read more into that. And that framework, we need the same framework, not only in South Africa, but globally, really. We need it, because now what they did was AI is not going to be allowed in schools or for school-related work for kids
Yeah.
below the age of 13. So primary school, no AI
No.
whatsoever.
Yeah.
And for teachers to use AI, they need to use it after they have been trained
Yes.
on how to use AI, because you can't use something you don't understand. You don't know where the risks are. So you don't know what you're doing wrong if you don't understand how it works.
Yeah.
And this is the same principle that applies even in the government. The AI policy, it fell apart because nobody understands how AI works, but they're using it with full confidence anyway. So with my pivot, I'm focusing on schools. Norway. Kids, primary schools, it's banned completely.
Yes.
And
yes.
then
Yes.
between
Yes.
the ages of 13 and high school, it is only allowed to be used under very strict supervision.
Good.
The staff has to be trained, and they have to be made to understand how AI works. And then there has to obviously be policies and rules to be followed by the people that are used. So in high school, it is used under very strict rules and very strict supervision. And then tertiary level, the kids have already been trained on how to safely integrate AI. For tertiary level, they're just basically navigating AI into their chosen professions and fields. And even then, know how to use it, because it's something that was taught from your formative years.
Yeah.
So
That's so
now
important.
the vision. It's getting out there to say, teachers, you don't understand AI. You need to understand AI. School, you don't have AI policies. You don't have AI frameworks. You don't have AI rules. You need those now. And you cannot wait for the government to act, because we don't know how long that's going to take.
Yes.
There's a huge gap. And while we're waiting for things to happen, the mess and the damages are happening. The risk, the problems, they're not waiting for the AI framework or the AI policy to come out. And we have to wait until beginning of 2027 before we can even get something that resembles an AI policy for the country. Between now and then, what is happening? Just now, we had a judge that was alleged to have used AI to write a judgment on a maintenance case.
Importantly, please tell me about that, because again, I saw that on your page, on your Instagram page.
So with that one, not much has been released on it after that reel. But so far, what we do know is that I think it was Makaba or something. He's an acting judge sitting in the South African High Court, some Gauteng High Court, and his judgment. They found that it could possibly, they found certain citations that could not be verified. So whether the allegation was true or not, that is yet to be decided.
Yes.
But for now, we just know that he was alleged to have used AI to write the judgment, and certain citations that he used in support of his judgment didn't exist. And this is a maintenance case.
So you mean it
now
didn't
this is
exist
another
at
risk.
all? Like at all?
No, it didn't. It was some case on a car, the Volkswagen. the brand, a Volkswagen versus Lube. And this is a maintenance case. So the opposing attorneys, when they read through this, they thinking, what does a car brand have to do with a maintenance case? That's when they started doing their investigations, and that's when they found, no, man, this is not right. This is not right. And we're lucky that is something, it's the one case that was caught early enough. So that judgment was set aside, and well, like I said, not much has been released after what I shared. So we don't know what has happened so far, but it has highlighted a new problem now that we have. It's not just lawyers that are using AI blindly. We also have judges now that choose not to use their human judgment on making this case. They're relying on a machine that is going to give you fake facts, fake supporting cases for you to make a judgment that is very legally binding on real humans, on very real humans.
You know what? I'm so scared. I'm so scared now. What about health? Do we have similar issues like that? Because I'm worried.
Oh my goodness!
What about our doctors and
you
nurses?
Should be. That is another thing, and I'm very curious actually to know how it works. I just know little of it because my focus is mainly on the legal. But yes. It's there. This is also for university students. We also see these memes that are coming out all the time. We laugh them off, but the joke, there's always the truth behind the joke. These memes saying, "Oh, be stay healthy because your future doctor is using ChatGPT to pass their exams." So their clinical reasoning already is not being developed at the university level. They don't. So because your future doctor is using AI. So they're not even getting the chance to develop their clinical reasoning or to have that, that judgment that comes with the skills that you learn. The lawyers, we call the lawyer, that judgment, that good reasoning, and that instinct, that lawyerly instinct that you need to have. It comes with practice. Sometimes you spot a case and you think, and you already know what's no. You can tell where the case is going because you apply your brain and you learn to apply your brain. Same thing with doctors. The experienced doctors, they'll come to you, they look at you, they see, oh, your eyes are yellow or whatever the conditions are. This is probably what you suffer from. The doctors of tomorrow, they will hear your cough, maybe put even a stethoscope. Is it a stethoscope? That thing. I don't think it's a stethoscope, but put that to, they will do that and still will have to go back to ChatGPT and say the wheezy, coughing, the lungs, this and that. This person is that. They can't take all those symptoms and think, okay, this is probably what they have. They will take your symptoms, go put them into a ChatGPT tool and wait for ChatGPT to say, this person might actually have this and that and whatnot. So even in the medical field, it is the same problems that we're experiencing everywhere else. It has literally affected all the professions.
Because now they'll prescribe medication that's not actually for what they're diagnosing. That's my fear also.
Exactly. We have and I say it's an AI zombie apocalypse, because if this goes on the way it does unchecked, we really will have a bunch of people that cannot think for themselves. And the AI will end up being the ones to run the country, being the one to run the medical field, and being the one. If you can't think for yourself, AI will tell you what to do. And it'll tell you what to do
blindly
and back it up with very wrong facts. And you will take that with you and you'll run with it. Where are we going? Where are we going?
Where are we going? Where are we going?
Where are we going as a people? The kids that are coming, growing up in the age of AI, where they're going to be in the next 5 to 10 years when they get to high school using AI unchecked. What are we breeding? We're going to get to high school and we're going to have a bunch of learners that cannot think for themselves at all. Even a simple question will require them to run to AI.
Because they won't be able to think.
They won't. And so what happens to the future leaders then? The future doctors, the future lawyers, judges.
AI will be writing speeches for them in parliament.
And I will be doing everything for them. They'll just be hosts. They will just be the host, and they will regurgitate in parrot fashion what AI told them to say to the world. It's wrong, right? At that point, your brain doesn't work anymore.
Doesn't work anymore. Boy, there's this problem that we have nowadays, these call centers. Because I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, I feel that it's a bit of a privacy and a personal data invasion, So what rights do South Africans have when companies, sort of collect and use the data to train and to power AI systems? What rights do we have?
Actually, I just remembered that we rambled so far. I didn't finish explaining the risks question
Yes. The
that
risk.
you asked me earlier. And
Yes.
it was one of them.
Yes.
So to finish that question, I had said it was de-skilling and over-reliance.
Yes.
And that question ties to this question you just asked me now. And then there's privacy. With everything that you put in your AI tool, these AI tools have servers that sit outside the country. They were developed in the US, so all the servers sit there. And no one cares to read the terms and conditions about these things.
No.
You don't know what they do with the information that you put in there, be it on a personal level, be it on a professional level. So if as a lawyer you put all the details of your clients in there because you want AI to help you, you've already breached attorney privilege, confidentiality and the privacy.
Yeah.
You've already breached POPIA. And so in terms of with regards to privacy itself, South Africans have POPIA and data privacy laws to protect them, and we have a lot of them. Probably more than we need, if that makes sense. But South Africans do not know their rights when it comes to these things. But we certainly have a lot of laws that protect the privacy of the privacy of our data and everything put in there. On a personal scale, people use ChatGPT as their best friends, therapists, and for this and that and whatnot.
They call it that.
You put your most intimate thoughts in there. And you think, oh, it's a chat. No one is going to see this. No one is going to. Someone is seeing this. They are using all the data you put in there to train AI. And when they train it, you know that they are trying to make it better for the next person. So whatever data they collect, they collect from you, and they use your data to train the AI tool.
Yeah.
AI tool will say, oh, I have new information from Mpho.
Yeah.
And here comes Vanilla asking about a similar question or a similar problem. And then the tool will say, Mpho gave me something on this. Let me take that and give it to Fanel. You don't know what happens to the information you put in there. This is the private stuff, the professional stuff, your bank details, your ID number. You don't know where it's going. And so the privacy is not only breached on a level of you putting your ID number in there. They breach your privacy because, again, I said earlier, it's a pattern recognizing machine. It recognizes your thinking patterns also, and it will work with you based on what it has picked up from the way you think. It knows things about you and your psychology you don't know about yourself.
That is the thing. And it will remind you, I've seen, I don't know what I was looking for the other day. And then it said something like, based on your search about such and such and such before.
Yes, based on the conversation we had earlier about this and that. It's recognizing. So the privacy breach, it's deep. It's very deep. So privacy is definitely one of those risks that South Africans and everyone really needs to be aware of. Excuse me. And then it's accuracy and accountability.
Yes.
Accuracy we've already spoken about. You need to verify everything it gives you. You can't just blindly trust AI and run with whatever it gives you. You need to verify everything. It is not always accurate, and it doesn't know when it is wrong. And then lastly, it's accountability. Because AI is a machine, there's been cases where lawyers get to court and they ask them, where did you get this information from? I'm sorry, I used ChatGPT. So as a judge, how am I supposed to blame ChatGPT? What conversation do I have with ChatGPT about this? So that is still a matter that is being highly debated right now.
Yes.
But so far, for the countries that are ahead of the game, they have decided that, and this was actually, there's another case that happened. This is in Canada a week or two ago. They basically decided that you are accountable for the AI output the moment you put your name on that document. The moment you sign your name on that document, you are 100% responsible for it. So you're not going to get to court and say, oh no, ChatGPT. No.
So tell me something. Oh, goodness. So tell me something. Let's just go back to the example of the judge now. So the judgment is given out, and then should that judgment, let's say, cause personal harm to me or a costly event, the judge must pay.
See, you see, you are touching everything. Yes, you will be sanctioned. All the other lawyers, just that it hasn't happened in South Africa, but there's been sanctions. In South Africa so far, there's been LPC referrals, right? And LPC is the legal practice council. They are the ones that run the legal show. So every time there's something wrong in the legal, we refer to the LPC to make decisions on it. So they're the ones that are making the rules for us, right? So far in South Africa, there's been LPC referrals and there hasn't been any sanctions on a heavier scale. Whereas in the US, there's been attorneys that have had their licenses suspended. They have been banned from appearing in court for a period of up to 6 months or 2 years. And then there's been attorneys that have been forced to pay as big an amount as huge as $50,000 because of the AI.
Goodness.
You will be held accountable for it. So if it's a document that has your name on it, whether it was done by your junior or whether it was done by an AI tool, if you put your name on it, it is considered to be your work and you will be held fully accountable for it. So to your point and your question, I lose a case, and there's been a case that was set aside. It was completely dismissed because both teams both teams used AI and they used it incorrectly. And the court said, and the judge said, no, I'm throwing out this case. This is it. Now imagine me suing a state for some grave misconduct that was done to me. I hire you and you get to court, you use AI, and the judge throws out the entire case.
It's a loss
What am I
to you
supposed
then.
to do with that? A loss based on your negligence. A loss based on your methods. That is malpractice. So now it has, and we already know that that's where this is going to go. As a person, a client, I hire you to, defend my case for me, and I lose my case because of your negligence and your recklessness and your failure to apply the legal judgment that I hired you for. I will come after you. If I'm an emotional person or I'm a disturbed person, I may even choose violence.
Exactly.
Because I lost my case because of you. And for other people, they will choose a civil lawsuit.
Yeah.
Do you know how many attorney malpractice lawsuits will come out from just using AI? The professional indemnity insurers are going to have a stream of claims. Premiums are going to go up.
Yes.
It's a whole mess. It's a whole mess. So yes, accountability. If you put your name on it, so far it's being treated as you are fully responsible. You cannot blame a machine. It cannot be held accountable. Yes,
because you went to the machine. You went to the machine. That's how they're saying
you
it.
the stuff. Yes. You went to the machine, it gave you the product. What did you do with the output it gave you? Did you just copy and paste and submit it? Or did you actually do the due diligence, the work that you're supposed to do and apply the skills that you're supposed to apply and do verification and. Now to come back to the questions you asked about what rights South Africans have. When it comes to AI, honestly, people don't fully understand also, just because you're personally staying away from using AI doesn't mean you don't engage with AI on your daily lives, because the corporations that govern us, if I may call it that, are already using AI. You're using AI when you interact with your bank. Your banking app, you're using AI when you're interacting with that. You are using AI when you are even interacting with government websites. There's AI chatbots that you interact with. AI is already in your life. Whether you use it personally or not, it definitely has affected you to a certain extent. So what I would say South Africans need to know and understand is their rights when it comes to their data being protected. They are allowed to ask the corporations, what data are you collecting? Are you collecting from me? Why are you collecting it? What are you going to do with it? And if they are done or they don't, you can ask. It's well within your rights to ask that specific company to delete your stuff completely. So you need to ask all those questions. Okay, are you POPIA compliant? What other operators are you using? What other companies are you working with to make sure that you give me your services? So in processing my personal information, who are you using? Who has access to my information? How are they using it? To what extent is it being used? And if you don't like it anymore and you're done with them and you want them to delete your stuff, tell them, yes, delete my data instantly, and it has to be deleted instantly.
Yes.
But you're allowed to ask those questions and they have to give you those answers.
Look, I'm just shocked. So, so would you say we are living in AI now? Would you confirm and say that we in the era of AI?
Definitely. We are. This is not a future thing. This is not theoretical. It's here now. It's here now. We've already had AI hallucination cases. 4 have been reported, but we know there's a whole bunch of them that are still happening. We have this South African AI policy that collapsed because of AI hallucinations. We're living in it. We are living in it. Even the judgment, it's here now.
Yes.
It's here now. And the problems that come with AI are unraveling now. We're dealing with them now. It's just now unfortunate that we're dealing with this monster.
Yeah.
And we have to blindly navigate this one. We don't have safeguards, rules, regulations, frameworks, not even on a smaller scale. There's not even LPC itself has not released guidance just specifically for attorneys. There's literally no AI policy governing us in any shape, form, or fashion. But we are already here now. We can't wait for the government to act. We have to take it upon ourselves to make sure that by the time we need to be proactive and not reactive. So by the time the government decides, okay, we are ready to release this, it's been done right this time.
Yeah.
A lot of things would have happened between now and then. And a lot of things are going to continue to happen. So it's up to us and for us to use our professional judgment and our judgment as parents, as teachers, and as people. It's up to us to go seek the information that we need so that we can safely navigate AI, because the effects are just catastrophically huge.
It's scary. It's scary. The students that are about to go to university now, what can they study to better prepare themselves for the future? You know, because I'm thinking, and also at the back of that question is, what other skills do you think are needed now in this era, apart from being tech savvy and understanding AI? What should they study? What other skills do you think are needed by young people now?
In an AI-driven world, I would say this is not only just for students, and this also applies for professionals, really.
Yes.
We need to focus. So there has to be a balance. AI, use it for the mechanical stuff. You can use it to help you with the research, to help you with drafting and. But obviously, I mean, there's certain people that can't even write with their hands anymore. I'm talking about some of my friends. We've been typing for I can type you a paragraph in a split second because I've gotten that good at typing. Give me a pen and paper and tell me to write an essay. My hand will start cramping before I even get to the second paragraph because it's so unnatural to me now, right? So, if you're going to allow AI to de-skill you in certain areas or in areas that you feel you can afford to be de-skilled in, you need to up the ones you need to up the notch in the skills that AI cannot teach you.
Yes.
And that's what I would say in an AI-driven world. Double down on the skills that AI cannot teach you, and then maybe enhance the skills that AI can. Well, not the skills. Yes, actually, AI can teach you a lot. Whatever you apply on AI, whatever you let AI do for you, take a lesson away from that. Like, have it fun. The little stuff, summarizing, research, case law, typing, and all those things, those can be done away with. Like, those are the little things, like, okay, yeah, it's like having secretary to take care of that for you.
Yes.
You don't need to be able to do that, but you still need to be able to exercise your human judgment, not only on your personal matters, but you still need to be able to exercise your human judgment in your professional space. You still need to just make sure that you double down on the skills that AI cannot teach you. What those skills are, you can decide depending on the field that you're in or on the profession that you're in. For me as an attorney, and I would say even for doctors, I want to retain the skills to be able to read through a case or listen to a person telling me what their problem is. And I instantly know, this is probably this. This is probably the application that I need to make. This is what I need to apply. There was a case a year ago that I need to be able to play with those things in my brain before I even go to AI, right? And I need to be able to exercise. That's the only way I'll be able to exercise my human judgment when I'm working with my cases. So I actually, without me repeating myself, because I made like quick notes. So I would definitely, and it's all in the little things, right? It's all in the little things. It's in something as simple as communication. You receive an email. You copy and paste the email and you tell ChatGPT to respond to the email for you. Make it sound professional. Make it sound nice.
I honestly cannot.
You copy and paste.
I've picked up a few of those and I'm thinking, what are you talking about?
Exactly.
What are you talking about? Why is this person responding this way? Now I have to pick up my phone and call, excuse me, I didn't understand what you meant in the email.
What do you mean? Exactly. That's human judgment. AI cannot do that for you. Having to respond to an email and knowing exactly what the email is talking about, just like that's part of the human judgment. It's something that seems so insignificant and so small. Like it's such a minimal and minute detail. But on a bigger scale, you receive a simple email and you don't even know how to respond to the email. And you don't even trust your own skills anymore because you're thinking, oh no, my English is not good enough. Let me just and it's a simple email. Asking you, simple email. Can we collaborate on this? What are your thoughts on this? Even the email that you sent to me. Hey, podcast, this and that and whatnot. I could have very well went to AI and said, respond to this lady. Tell this lady I want to do it. And then it would have gone into details about this and that and whatnot and rambled on and on.
Because the email now becomes so bulky. It will be so bulky and you're thinking.
Unreasonably so.
What is this person talking about?
Comprehensive on such unnecessary details when I could have simply just said, hey, yes, I would love to collaborate with you. This is a very interesting topic. I talk on a daily basis.
Yes.
I know language. I want to use the language I know. And I will stay using it. But if you're going to have AI take over your communication, you even know how to talk at that point. Basically be a shell that can talk. You are regurgitating what AI gave you. But you're not doing this anymore. So those are critical thinking skills. That's number one and foremost. Do not allow AI to take away your critical thinking skills. Because once that is gone,
can't get it back.
You're an AI zombie. You can't do anything yourself. You will always need an input. Imagine this being a CEO of a huge company and they don't have critical thinking skills.
Gosh.
You have so many people working under you and they trust your judgment and they rely on your judgment and they trust that you will lead them because of your experience and the expertise that you have.
Yes.
But meanwhile, back at the ranch, you're busy asking ChatGPT what you're going to do with this new problem that you have.
To lead your company for you.
So what's the difference between you and my 14-year-old son in grade 8? Because what you're doing on Chat, he can very well do the same thing. He can copy and paste the problem into ChatGPT and copy and paste the output. He can do the same thing. What sets you apart from a student advanced, from a first-year student? Nothing. Your expertise at that point don't mean anything because you don't know how to apply them anymore. Because AI this, AI that. So critical thinking skills. Okay, yes.
It sounds like a cool thing when somebody says, I mean, I've heard it in meetings as well where somebody says, oh, I used ChatGPT to help me with this. So maybe they have a nice graphic or a nice image or a diagram there that they're using to explain whatever concept it is. So they're so proud to say it in a meeting that they asked ChatGPT.
Yeah, my question to that would be how? How did you use it? Take me through the process. Take me through the process of how exactly you used it. What prompt did you give it? What output did you give you? What did it give you? What did you do after the output? What did you do? Did you just put it in the presentation and you gave it to us? Did you verify any information? And if you didn't, then
because
you're wasting our time.
Exactly, because people feel like it's a cool thing to say, and I haven't seen anybody actually challenge someone who said that,
They wouldn't know how to. They wouldn't know how to because they also don't understand. You need to understand for you to ask these questions. And one of the reels that I released, and I'm going to do a series on this also on schools and AI.
Yeah.
One of the things that I said was, no, I didn't say it in the reel, but a parent reached out to me.
Yeah.
And they said, "Oh my God, a parent I wasn't even thinking about this. But now that you brought it to my attention, I'm very curious to know how the school is integrating AI and how the teachers are using AI."
Yeah.
But you can't ask or challenge something that you yourself don't need to understand. And you don't need to understand it fully, but you need to understand it to a certain extent to ask those questions. So even if I'm meeting with the person, we're doing research, or even a client for lawyers, I've even said, if they're going to come to you with a problem, and the first question they need to ask is, have you spoken to AI about this? What did it tell you? What did you tell it? Because from then onwards, you will need to know that you will need to know what information to debunk.
Yeah.
Because these people are going to come with you, with ChatGPT having told them what it has told them, and they will run with it because this must be it. This must be the truth. This must be accurate. So you as the expert, you need to be able to say, okay, give me everything that AI gave you. I want to go through that information. So then you'll be able to say, this is incorrect. This is correct. Don't pay attention to this. Don't pay attention to this. And this is something that also plays into attorney-client privilege. Because if they have fed their private information into an AI tool, attorney-client privilege becomes questionable at that point. Because you can't protect information.
I see.
You can't protect information you don't know where it goes.
Yes.
You put your client's documents, you put your ID number on AI doing your research. Again, AI has its service in the US. All that research and all the information you gave it, it has already left South African borders. Topia has been breached on so many levels.
Yeah.
Well, I could go on about it the whole day. Again, other countries are ahead of the game, with this AI-driven world. There's a case in the US where a judge decided that check history, the defendant's check history. So the opposing counsel requested the defendant's check history about the case. And the people or the defense team said, no, you're not allowed access to this information because it's protected under attorney-client privilege.
Yeah.
And then the court decided that actually it is not protected under attorney-client privilege, and the guy has to give everything it fed to the AI tool, because the moment it gave that information to the AI tool, it was released to a third party that is not covered under attorney-client privilege. And because of that reason, they have to abide by the motion, and they were forced to give up the the chat. And the chat history had it was a fraud case, and he told Claude exactly what he did, what money he moved where, how can I make this go away. The entire case was done because of the chat that it had with Claude. And the courts decided, no, sorry, attorney-client privilege doesn't apply. Same day, another court decided the opposite. So it's still an ongoing debate, but these are all the things that you need to be mindful. Always ask yourself, the information that I put on this thing, where is it going?
Where is it going? Where is it going? Mpo, tell me. There's Claude, there's Gemini, there's ChatGPT. Are they all the same? There's so many others. Are they all the same?
They are, I mean, in principle, they are. They're all AI tools that are just trained on, data and pattern recognition, but they have different strengths and weaknesses.
Okay.
So the ones that I use mostly are Claude and ChatGPT.
Okay.
Because I don't want to start using too many of them. It's just going to be too much. So I just decided to zone in on Claude and ChatGPT. And when it comes to, say, for something as simple as writing, Claude is very wordy. It gives a lot of it's very wordy, and it circumvents, and it gives you all sorts of unnecessary information. Whereas if you go to Chat is very punchy. It's very straightforward.
Yes.
So they all have different strengths and weaknesses. I have not really played around with a whole lot of them because there's so many.
Yeah.
There's so many of them.
Yeah.
But I think now would be the time to also bring attention to the fact that, there's two different AI tools. There's consumer AI tools and there's enterprise AI tools. Consumer AI tools are the ones that are available to everyone. Your ChatGPT, your Claude, the free versions also, like everything those are the ones that are not protected under POPIA or anything. Whatever you put, the data that you input in there can be used to train the system and there's absolutely no data privacy protection whatsoever. Where the enterprise AI tools, those are the ones that are designed to source information from a specific database. So for instance, in South Africa, we have Adjunct AI. Adjunct AI is an enterprise AI tool and it is used to verify legal citations. So what sets it apart from ChatGPT is that it's not going to give you information that was already that has been pre-installed into it. It has to go specifically to the primary source for legal citation, and it will get its information from that. So they also have to have copyright agreements and access and with that specific database that you work with. But even with that being said, even enterprise tools, at the end of the day, they are still AI tools, and AI will always be AI. It will still give you inaccurate information. So whether you're using consumer AI tools or enterprise AI tools, at the end of the day, you still need to verify and make sure that the information you receive is accurate.
So do you think there's still a future in law now, the law as a profession, or people should now go and study computer sciences or all of these software engineering?
We will always need lawyers. Law will always need human judgment. And these AI tools, they, as autonomous as they can be and as advanced as they can get, at the very end of the day, they still need human input to act. And an AI tool, when it comes to the legal sector, the legal fraternity, it can never replace lawyers because it can't stand in front of a judge and take that oath and say, I swear to this and that and whatnot. And it can never have human judgment.
Yes.
It comes with the territory. You need to develop, we're not humans just because, when it comes to professions like your actuary, if you're dealing with numbers and tax and this and whatnot, by all means, I guess you can go and do your formulas and have AI help you with all those things and computer what. But when it comes to legals, AI could never replace us, even if it wanted to. What will replace, though, is your way of thinking. It will replace your thinking if you let it. But it cannot replace you as a lawyer. There will always be a need for lawyers, and AI cannot take over the legal fraternity. So because it can't take that over, if you allow it, it will take over your thinking. It will take over your judgment, and it'll make the So you will just be a host. You will just be the errand boy. You will be the person that delivers the news to the masses. But they're running the show in the background. Exactly.
Oh my gosh. What gives you hope, in this new era of AI? And as we conclude, what advice can you give to South Africans about, the proper use of AI?
It's so simple. Do not allow AI to think for you. For creatives, do not allow AI to replace your creativity for you. It's gonna sound, I don't want to say philosophical or whatever, but we are humans. Humans are very special. We come with our different sets of gifts, right? Some of these people, they go into these professions because it's like, oh, I've always wanted to be a lawyer all my life. All of your being good at being a lawyer comes with the person that you are and the passions that you that you embody and what you bring into. AI is just, it's a logical pattern recognizing thing. It will just, it literally can only look at patterns and it applies logical thinking based on. Whereas you, as an attorney, you don't think like that. You look at each case specifically and you can apply your human judgment to say, I know previously this is what has happened, but there's something different about this case that does not allow to apply every other, principle that has been applied before. That is the human judgment that you need. When navigating this whole AI space. But I would say just do not allow it to, don't over rely on AI. Do not allow it to do the thinking for you. Do not allow it to replace your human judgment, and always verify every single output you get from AI. Verify it, because these things are challenged. It's going to come back and say, in the case Fanelwa against Mpho, this is what happened. With my case, specifically, when I saw that it was giving me fake cases, I went back. I'm like, why did you give me a fake case?
Yes.
Oh, I apologize. That was an oversight. This and that and this and that. And it gave me more fake cases. I'm like, do you know what you're doing? Do you actually know what you're doing?
Yes.
At the end of the day, I'm just the machine. I can be wrong. Like, okay, sharp. Verify everything. This thing doesn't know when it's wrong. Only you can know. The only way you'll know when it's wrong is if you verify the information.
Yes.
It doesn't know when it's wrong and when it's right. It just gives you what it has.
Exactly.
It just gives you what it has. So those are the takeaways that I would say South Africa needs to walk away with. If you take away anything here today from this chat, don't allow it to think for you. Don't allow it to take over your creativity. If you are a writer, write this whatever piece yourself, and then take it to AI to polish it up for you and make it look nice.
Yes.
But don't let it write it from you from the beginning. When it comes to your kids, and I'm also with Norway in this one, primary school kids should completely be banned from using
with
AI.
Norway. Me too.
They should completely be banned. They don't understand anything about anything.
Yes.
Let's give their little brains a chance. Let's give the brains a chance to develop before we can throw them into this mess. It's something that is actually, you navigate AI. Don't let AI navigate you. I think that's basically what I'm going to say. You be the one to navigate AI, because right now AI is navigating us.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Can tell me, you need to end with a verdict on AI. Just a little bit again. I need you to talk about it. You're the founder of it. What made you start it? And also, where can somebody who's interested to find your content on the verdict on?
So with the verdict on AI, it's basically a publication where I share what happens in the legal space, or South African legal space rather, when it comes to AI, the cases that are coming out, trajectory that South African law is taking into this the AI driven world, just basically letting the legals stay up to date with what's happening, the things they need to look out for, what they need to watch out for, what is most probably going to come next. So I'm sharing a lot of my research and my findings in the form of articles on the verdict on AI, and the link to that is in my Instagram bio. And then it will just also then be the page where I basically turn the articles into talking head, and I summarize those things. But where you can find me, definitely on Instagram, TikTok. But if you follow me on Instagram, you don't really need to follow me on TikTok, because basically pretty much the same thing. Okay. Definitely. If you're on LinkedIn, I have a LinkedIn version of the newsletter called The Verdict on AI. And outside of that, the principal source for the articles is on Substack. And the link to that is on my bio. So if you're interested on staying up to date with what's happening in AI, not only in law now, but also in education, definitely make sure that you subscribe to The Verdict on AI. And, following this page, you will stay up to date.
Your handle is, Instagram handle
is? The handle is mphoentle.legal.
Our conversation, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the work that you do. I know you are busy as an attorney. You're very busy, but you still want to go to schools and educate young people. I want to thank you so much for all that you do for South Africa. I want to thank you for bringing the skills from abroad and bringing them home. For some people stay outside SA and they become comfortable, but you chose to come back home. And that I admire very much. Thank you very much.
As South Africa, it's not doom and gloom just yet. We're not there yet, but we certainly still have a very good chance of being able to safely navigate AI into our lives. It has not taken over yet, and it doesn't have to. Just stay up to date and make sure that you teach yourself these things. What you don't know, go out there, find the information, and make sure that you know before you use it, understand how it works before it does too much damage for you.
That's all I have for you today. Remember to follow us on social media at the Sociable Chemist Podcast. Don't forget to click the subscribe button and turn on your notification button. My name is Professor Fanelwange Gajai, and I'll see you on the next episode.